introducing today's keynote speaker, I'd like to share a new promotional video that we will be sharing on the city's YouTube channel later today and have it posted on social media. You're the first group to see it. I hope you enjoy it.
The name speaks for itself.
Welcome to Commerce City, Colorado,
where new development is almost constant, the talent diverse, and the potential for economic prosperity endless.
We have people who are very well versed in the trades and the building community. We also have the professional side of it, where we have lawyers, we have teachers, we have business people, we have people who specialize in IT.
We have a very educated workforce here in Colorado. We want to attract the best and brightest people to come, but we also want to grow them our own and make sure there's a lot of opportunities for people to advance their careers and contribute back to society. There's a lot of primary employers here in Commerce City, so we think that the proximity to a lot of those employers provides a really great short commute for a lot of folks.
Located just minutes away from downtown Denver and a short drive to the majestic Rocky Mountains, Commerce City is literally at the doorstep of Denver International Airport, one of the busiest in the world.
Definitely access to DIA is very important to people, but with the Access D470 you can really get even down to the tech center pretty easily.
For what we do, it's really an ideal location. We're kind of on the east side of town, and so all the trucks and rail cars and things like that we have coming in and out, this is a great place to be. It's easy access to logistics and transport and all those types of things.
We were looking for a location that was a little bit more centrally located from a transportation perspective, travel perspective. This location right here in Commerce City is right next to all major highways, east, west, north, south. We have easy access to people. It's a tight community, and it gives us the resources we needed to be able to expand our business.
Built on the foundation of manufacturing and production, Commerce City's business base continues to grow and evolve, adding more corporate and retail locations every year.
We've really pushed for an expansion of economic development, for an expansion of commercial, retail, dining, all those things that really make a community whole. And we have a staff that has taken that push and run with it.
Besides a friendly business climate, Commerce City also offers a wide range of amenities, making it not only an attractive place to work, but live as well.
What I love most about Commerce City is its uniqueness. I don't know of any other part of Colorado that could have brand new communities with beautiful homes, as well as open spaces where buffalo roam, literally, as well as this quaint little town of Derby, which is unique in architecture and the community. And I hope they discover it because it's certainly unique. There's little restaurants, there's barbershops. I think it's just one of those things where you come, you go, and you leave, and you just feel like, wow, I just saw something extremely special.
Having a wildlife refuge, a large urban wildlife refuge, means that they have the opportunity to get out into nature, to explore and discover and realize, how therapeutic and beneficial it is to just get out and explore in nature.
Commerce City, a quality community for business. Quality community to call home, a quality community for a lifetime.
Whatever it is that you think is going to be the right fit for your business, we have opportunity to bring it right here to Commerce City and make it successful.
Isn't that great? I'd like to give a big shout out to the city's community relations team. That was awesome. Thank you very much. Now for our keynote speaker. I am pleased to introduce today's keynote speaker, Mayor Benjamin Huseman. A lifelong public servant and community volunteer, Benjamin Huseman was elected mayor of Commerce City in November of 2019 after serving as an at-large city council member. He was appointed to the National League of Cities Energy, Environment, and Natural Resources Committee for 2019 and 2020. Prior to holding public office, Mayor Huseman served more than 20 years in the United States Air Force, retiring as the Operations Flight Superintendent for the 460th Civil Engineer Squadron at Buckley Air Force Base in 2014. As a volunteer for Habitat for Humanity, he has helped construct homes in Korea, Honduras, Nevada, and Missouri. Mayor Huseman has a master's degree in security management, a bachelor's degree in computer information systems, and an associate's degree in mechanical and electrical technology. He is currently employed as a director of facilities for SomaLogic. A native of Lakeside, California, he and his wife and daughter settled in Commerce City in 2013 as they were ending their military service. Please help me welcome Mayor Benjamin Huseman.
Thank you, Michelle, for that warm introduction. And thank you all for being here today. What'd you think of the video? That's pretty special, isn't it? You know, I think in 5 years of being elected for the city of Commerce City, we've always dreamed for something like that to be a reality. And so I'm just thankful for our city staff who took the time to put that together and really put us on par with some of the neighboring communities that had marketing campaigns like that to really take advantage and showcase what they offer. And I just think it's special that we finally have something to call our own, that we can also showcase everything that Commerce City has to offer for people to come to our city and be successful. So thank you to all the staff, community relations, economic development, everybody in the city manager's office that really put that together. The first time I watched it, and I'm sorry I got a preview before the rest of you. The first time I watched it, I got goosebumps just thinking, wow, this is just something special. So thank you to everybody that put that together. Good afternoon, and thank you all for being with us today. At this time last year, we still focused much of our attention on emerging from the pandemic and how the city supported residents and businesses with programs and services during such a challenging time. While the pandemic has not left us completely, we now have many other challenges, opportunities, and achievements to focus on as we all work to get back to business. Today, I'll be focusing on three main themes: the state of the local economy, the state of the community, and the state of the city government. First, the local economy remains strong at this time. The three commonly used economic indicators that evaluate a local economy are business growth, unemployment rates, and consumer confidence. Let's start with business growth. According to the Colorado Department of Labor, the number of net new businesses in Commerce City has increased by over 9% over the past year. There are now over 1,700 companies located in our community that employ nearly 34,000 people. The Labor Department also reports the average weekly wages for these jobs has increased 13% from the same time last year. New company locations or expansions during this past year added to these numbers, including Pinnacle Steel, Rocky Mountain Powertrain, Highland Cabinetry, and 84 Lumber. Thrasher Foundation Repair is opening its first Colorado operation in Commerce City after a metro-wide real estate search. The Nebraska-based company brings $10 million in new capital investment and 63 new jobs to the city with an average wage over $120,000. Performance Food Service is a food distribution and regional sales company. They are building a new 265,000 square foot flagship operation in Commerce City that will serve multiple franchise and corporate-owned clients in 11 states. The company's expansion project will retain 168 jobs and add another 145 jobs to the city over the next 10 years. We are excited about the expansion of Performance Food Service and look forward to continued strong relationships with the local management team led by Mr. Matt Browning. Mr. Browning showcased his company at the recent groundbreaking event, which brought together several corporate employees, Commerce City Council and leadership, Adams County commissioners, and leadership and community leadership. Mr. Browning, thank you for being with us here today. Earlier this week, Worth Industry North America announced plans to relocate two of the company's divisions, Worth MRO and Worth Revcar Fasteners Industrial, to a new 83,000 square foot facility in the Colorado Logistics Park. The project brings $3 million in new capital investment and retains 70 employees. The company expects to occupy the new facility by September 2023. These are just a few of the many quality companies we want as part of our community. We thank all the business choosing to locate or expand in Commerce City. They add to the economic vitality of our community and the region as a whole. Let's give them a round of applause. Added job growth by our companies helps strengthen another local economic indicator, the unemployment rate for our workforce. The Colorado Department of Labor's unemployment rate for Commerce City fell 2.2 percentage points over the last year to 5.2%. While this declining rate is a good thing, it remains higher than the national average and means we still have 1,600 people in our community seeking a job. I encourage anyone with openings to contact the Adams County Business and Workforce Center or our Economic Development Department so we can get these folks employed. The final economic indicator is consumer confidence and its effect on retail spending. The U.S. Census shows Commerce City with a median household income of nearly $83,000, which is 14% higher than the U.S. national average and highest of any city located entirely in Adams County. The strong median household income helps encourage greater consumer confidence and can lead to increased spending in our community. According to the Colorado Department of Revenue, Commerce City's retail sales increased 42% between the first quarters of 2021 and 2022 to $1.8 billion, representing $530 million more in sales over the year. Increased spending is a good indication of a vibrant local economy. However, the U.S. Conference Board's National Consumer Confidence Index is not trending as positively. Colorado is included in the Mountain Region Index, which reported a 15% decrease in consumer confidence from last year. Board analysts have stated increased concerns about inflation, and particularly rising gas and food prices, is leading to a negative outlook by consumers. While those concerns are certainly not unique to our area, they are weighing on families right here in our backyard. Even as the economic indicators show that Commerce City's local economy is strong and currently growing, we could be facing strong headwinds from further expected inflation and interest rate hikes. Now let's look at the state of our community. Commerce City continues to be one of the fastest growing cities in Colorado. The unprecedented growth we are experiencing exacerbates an increasing number of challenges and opportunities in our city. The U.S. Census reported that the city's population jumped from nearly 46,000 people in 2010 to more than 62,000 residents in 2020. More than 1,800 people were added in 2021, and our population is expected to reach nearly 79,000 by the year 2035. The city issued 1,178 residential building permits in 2021 and has issued another nearly 730 through August of this year. While this residential growth is not surprising, city resources, service levels, and infrastructure are struggling to keep up with the challenges this growth brings. The city is adding many new staff positions in the 2023 budget process to ensure we can meet our community's expectations. One area of particular attention is public safety, where law enforcement personnel nationwide are stretched thin. Commerce City and the entire state continue to face troubling increases in auto theft and other property crimes since the start of the pandemic. Colorado is experiencing over 4,000 auto thefts per month in 2022, a number that is entirely unacceptable. Hiring and retention of police officers has been a significant challenge for the Commerce City Police Department, and yet our officers and professional staff have continually displayed extraordinary commitment to our community. Their effort and sacrifice is worthy of our appreciation. Thank you, Mr. Myers. The department is expanding its reach to find officers and strives to make Commerce City a destination agency. 11 new recruits graduated the police academy in June and will finish their field training within the month to prepare them for solo patrol. A dozen other conditional offers have been made for officers to help fill the ranks and improve the safety of our streets. The PD is stepping up post-pandemic efforts to work with the community, bring a stronger presence to neighborhoods and businesses throughout the city, and help create neighborhood watch groups while also addressing quality of life concerns by lowering speed limits on 60th and 64th Avenues and finding new solutions to remove abandoned trailers and vehicles. Another challenge facing our community in the region is the growing number of our neighbors experiencing homelessness. This complicated issue impacts unhoused community members along with the surrounding neighborhoods and businesses. The city is working with Adams County, Access Housing, and other regional partners to develop a multi-pronged approach to help address homelessness while utilizing $10 million in American Rescue Plan funding toward the effort. A community navigator position was added in 2021 to our staff to help coordinate outreach efforts to our unhoused residents and offer resources for short-term housing, food, clothing, hygiene, and laundry services, unemployment, benefit assistance, and any needed mental health illness assistance. So far, the Community Navigator has made over 900 contacts with community members. This role is just one position in the city's new Community Wellbeing Division, which will allow the city to serve our residents in ways that were previously only being addressed at the county level. Another item affecting the state of our community is an effort to keep Commerce City looking its best. The city has debuted a new community pride initiative titled My C3 to demonstrate the city's commitment to keeping up to our end of that bargain on public property, while encouraging community members to do the same on their own property. Asking residents and businesses to abide by our code requirements for weed management means we need to more effectively manage weeds in the right-of-way and our parks and open spaces as well. Restoration efforts will soon begin on 2 iconic murals in the Derby downtown district, an important part of Commerce City's identity. The first mural on the north side of the Save-A-Lot grocery store depicts the city's early history, growth, and future through images of children, while another depicts women who were all past community leaders. Restoring these historic murals is a small step towards revitalization while preserving local history and community. Redevelopment opportunities in urban renewal areas present tangible opportunities to add valuable uses for residents and business growth alike. Progress at the Greyhound Park site is now measured in buildings and facilities you see instead of status of plans on paper. The 72nd Avenue Rail Station is primed for transit-oriented development for our residents in the Adams City and Adams Heights neighborhoods. And other opportunities exist for urban renewal that we will keep pursuing. Continued residential growth will help attract future restaurants, grocers, and other retailers. We've heard residents' desires for more retail development, and I share their disappointment in the pace of new offerings coming to our area compared to that of the new residential construction and surrounding communities. Every retailer has its own site's location factors and favorable market conditions to identify before deciding on a new location. The city is committed to finding every method possible to emphasize the opportunities that exist here and turn those into reality and meet our residents' expectations. There's a new retail development showing that the market is starting to respond to the city's population growth. Recent retail offerings to be completed or planned include Jersey Mike's and second locations for Santiago's and Wingstop restaurants, new AutoZone and O'Reilly's auto parts stores, 2 new Dollar Tree stores. Planet Fitness announced plans to move forward on their new location at Reunion Station. Taku Sushi is moving forward on their full-service restaurant in the Northern Range. La Michoacana is a new ice cream shop coming to Derby, and planned construction of 3 new hotels, a Woodspring Suites at the Greyhound Park redevelopment site, and both a Holiday Inn and Suites and a Holiday Inn Express along Tower Road. Also, 2 more Ziggy's Coffee, another Community Uplift Partnership coffee house, Starbucks and Dutch Brothers coffee restaurants are all in the works. Commerce City will be well caffeinated. A number of factors are impacting how long some of these projects are taking to occupy new spaces and open to the public, including escalating construction costs and labor issues. The Commerce City Blue Ribbon Economic Development Advisory Committee recently made recommendations for City Council's consideration of programs, policies, or promotions designed to support retail attraction efforts. They include opportunities to develop unique marketing activities for commercial site selectors, create a brand ambassador program that engages residents and business leaders in promoting the city for quality development, and develop ways to preserve competitive commercial development sites for targeted uses such as restaurants and a high-quality retail. The recommendations will be considered for inclusion in city work plans and help inform next year's Economic Development Strategic Plan update. Be assured that the city will continue to advocate to developers, retailers, property owners, and retail brokers and work towards bringing additional retail locations to prime development sites along its major traffic corridors. The final theme is the state of city government. As stated before, Commerce City's rapid growth has put a strain on service delivery. This has spurred the city to embrace a culture of change and find ways to provide the delivery of programs and services in newer, more efficient, and updated ways. For example, staff is examining ways to make the review process for new development projects more customer-friendly and transparent. We know this process is frustrating for those in the development community, and the city currently has 169 active development cases in review. The city has started an expedited review case process, which allows developers to apply for faster review timing if their project falls within defined categories. A new online permitting system that will be available next year will allow developers to check the progress of their applications in real time and better inform the public about proposed development projects happening throughout the city. We've also implemented larger sign postings on properties to better inform the public of proposed development projects. In addition, the city is working to modernize our regulations through a complex review of our land development code. The current land development code is over 12 years old, and much has changed in the city since its adoption. We have heard our residents' concerns related to environmental health and sustainability and have committed more resources to focus on these areas. We have appointed a new environmental policy advisory committee, hired a staff planner with specific expertise on these matters, and contracted an environmental consultant to work with the community to craft policy recommendations. Our city organization itself is a case study in these opportunities, with staff recently forming an internal Sustainable Initiatives Committee to identify operational improvements and sustainability in mind. The city is also collaborating with Cultivando and other community partners to encourage healthy eating and active living through projects, programs, and policies. The Healthy Places Initiative promotes inclusive and equitable programs and services for those facing barriers to a healthy lifestyle. The Parks, Recreation, and Golf Department hosts 3 annual recreational center open houses for Spanish-speaking residents, the most recent of which had over 100 participants and families. As the city continues to grow, investment in its infrastructure will support new redevelopment and spur additional investment. Pavement improvements to Quebec Parkway, 88th Avenue, 96th Avenue, and 112th Avenue are all occurring this month alone. Additional projects on 56th Avenue, Chambers Road, and other major roadways are currently in the planning stage. The Third Creek Infrastructure groundbreaking ceremony in July celebrated a public-private partnership between the city and Cali companies to install the first infrastructure east of E470 that will serve Commerce City. This marks a significant milestone in the city's growth, as the Third Creek West development is anticipated to include residential, retail, office, and hotel uses. In addition to revisions to the Land Development Code, the city is also updating the comprehensive plan to help guide development and investment decisions for the next 25 years. Continued community participation is crucial to the success of this process and the plan it creates, and I invite our residents and community members to share your feedback on the first draft of the plan when it becomes available this fall. Community involvement takes on many different forms in the city, from commenting on plans or regulations, to speaking at city council meetings, to volunteering with one of our many boards and commissions. Active community members looking to make a difference are the lifeblood of our board and commission program. We currently have board openings on the Nonprofit Quality Community Foundation, the Veterans Commission, and the Youth Commission, to name a few. Please take the time to visit c3gov.com/boards to explore ways you can get more involved. Today, we've highlighted themes related to growth, economic health, community challenges, opportunities, and achievements. But this conversation has barely scratched the surface of the dynamic and ever-evolving Commerce City we see today. Our city includes thousands of unique circumstances and perspectives from residents, businesses, employees, and visitors. Each is valuable and adds to the fabric of this community in its own way. If you're taking the time to listen to these remarks today, you're someone who cares about the direction of Commerce City, and I want to thank you for that. The state of our city is ultimately your story to tell and your future to help shape. You all play a role in making this a quality community for a lifetime, both now and for generations to come. When we all choose to engage, contribute, and serve each other, I believe we are greater than the sum of our parts. We won't always agree, and we will always face obstacles. But as a community, we can work together to tackle challenges and strive for continued improvement in the months, years, and decades ahead. That's what ultimately will help Commerce City reach its full potential. I want to thank you all again for joining us today and wish you continued success in the rest of 2022 and into the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. That was terrific. There's just certainly a lot going on in Commerce City. We thank you and the rest of City Council for your leadership. The next part of our program is to hear from representatives from today's partner hosts, Adelante Community Development and the Commerce City Chamber of Commerce. Maria Zubia is the Health Equity Director for Adelante Community Development. She is a Commerce City native with over 30 years of experience in community navigation and management. Over the years, Ms. Zubia has assisted in making a difference for many families in need at the local, county, state, and federal levels. She serves on numerous boards, committees, and community efforts and is a current member of the Adams 14 School Board. Maria most recently joined the exclusive group of TEDx speakers. Congratulations. Please help me welcome Maria Zubia.
I was worried about the slides because, to begin with, I'm a little shorter than most people, so I can't see where I'm at, but I will try and get there. So welcome, everybody. It's great to be here, and what a privilege to be in a room full of leaders and, high-stake rollers in Commerce City. I have to say and give a shout out to my friends from the Commerce City Rotary Club. We're like a big family, and there's so many of you here, so welcome, and thank you for being here and supporting. As previously stated, I'm Maria D. Zubia. Those of you who follow me on Facebook will know that I go by Marina because my full name is Maria de Lourdes Marina Zubia Ceballos. So you could see why I prefer to go by the shorter part, okay? But Maria's fine. And I also have to say that my tocaya, the other Maria Gonzalez, sends her regrets because she is out of town and she couldn't be here. Maria Gonzalez is actually the founder of Adelante Community Development. So many of you might remember that I used to work for Kids First. So I was the Director of Community Outreach for over 21 years with that organization. And in July, I switched over to another organization with Maria Gonzalez. And so as my new role, I am the Health Equity Director. And as part of what I'm doing, which I will share in a little bit because it's exciting work and lots of new projects. But first of all, just sharing a little bit about Adelante and the history. So our mission is really to help Spanish-speaking entrepreneurs reach or help them to achieve economic prosperity. And you can see our vision here. And just so you know, I look back a little bit at the statistics. Those of you who know me well know I'm not big on statistics and numbers and data. And when I am, I like to really humanize those because every number comes with a person, right? Every person, when you talk about numbers, you have to really think that those numbers represent people. And so one of the data points that I looked back on, and I knew this, and I didn't even have to research the data or the census numbers, is that the highest percentage of minority group, or the highest minority group percentage in growth in Commerce City and in Adams County is our Hispanic population. And just a little reminder is that within the Hispanic population, we have subgroups. And for some reason, even myself as a Latina woman growing up, I grew up in Commerce City. I live here, I work here. I'm an alumni of Adams 14. I remember being grouped into the Latino population as a whole. And it was hard for me to describe to people, yeah, that doesn't really describe really who I am and the subgroup that I'm in. And so one of the subgroups that I am passionate about helping is our monolingual Spanish-speaking immigrant community, because they seem to live in fear, and they're usually the ones in the shadows that get less help. And so one of the things that Adelante does that really motivated me to come work for them is that they really focus on our Spanish-speaking community to try and help them reach their goals and reach the whatever it is that they want to reach. If it's being an entrepreneur, learning how to run a small business, a mid-sized business, what Adelante does, and the simplest way I can tell you is that they help Spanish-speaking entrepreneurs learn the nuts and bolts from beginning to end of how to run their small business. And they do it in such a way that is culturally relevant and culturally respected. And they build trust. We all build trust with our families. And I'll give you a little bit more information moving forward. So next slide. This just gives you a little bit of history. So those of you who know Maria Gonzalez know that she started back in 2008. She started her own insurance business during the recession, mind you. And soon she found out there wasn't really a whole lot of help out there for people who are starting their small businesses, especially people that look like us and speak like us. It's very difficult. And so she worked with the city, and in 2010, there was the Minority Business Association, and not a whole lot came of that. They did do a small census of 200 small businesses. And from that, what did come of it is that she started supporting more and more businesses and mentoring them. And because of that, in 2014, Adelante became its own 501c3 with a small grant that they received, their very first grant. In 2020, though, because of COVID, a huge change happened. And because Adelante was known and trusted, many people kept coming and asking for assistance from all kinds of basic needs to really where do they get testing, where do they get the COVID vaccine. And so because of that, one of the things Adelante does and has continued to do, and which I now oversee, is we've been hosting COVID vaccine clinics at the Mile High Flea Market. And so at first people were joking, wow, the Mile High Flea Market, really? And but that's where people go. That's where a lot of the folks who are in need, that's where they go. They go to meet their other needs there. They get their veggies there. They get their work supplies there. Lots of people go there that are in need. So why not? Let's put the services where people can trip over them. And that's pretty much what Adelante did with this vaccine clinic, which, by the way, I'm there every Sunday. So if anybody needs a booster, come see me between 9 and 3. And we make it very simple and easy, and we remove a lot of those barriers that most people have everywhere else. And so moving forward with the timeline, in 2022, in our current year, we did finish doing our strategic plan, our 3 to 5 year strategic plan. And I want to say thank you to the City of Commerce City and Nancy and everybody for the use of the Derby Resource Center, because we do have such a growing need of people who want to take these classes, who want to participate in the workshops that Adelante offers. And those workshops are, right now, the most current one is QuickBooks. I mean, I'm like, I want to take that. If I didn't have a full-time job with Adelante, I might be able to take the QuickBooks and take some of the other ones that they offer, because they are really informative and they're all in Spanish. And so utilizing that space has been very helpful. We just need more of it. We need more space. We need more use of the space because it's growing. More and more people are finding out what we're doing, and they're coming to see us and are constantly requesting more information on these programs. I also help facilitate our Facebook page, and I keep getting continuous requests for these programs. Even after they've ended, more people want them. So so if anybody knows the space, we are looking. Next slide, please. So we couldn't do any of this on our own. We're just a small piece of the puzzle. And as part of many of you who are in this room are part of our puzzle. I think we all are. We all fit in this puzzle of helping each other. And I have to say, one of the things Mayor Huseman said about the equity work that's going on in Commerce City, I couldn't be more proud of that, because it's taken years and years in this community for us to really embrace everybody. And I mean everybody. Everybody has a right, a human right to be seen and to be heard. And the fact that we're finally on that road and that trajectory makes me very proud to be a member of this community again, to where it's being embraced. So thank you for that. And that's where our partnerships come in. And as you can see, we don't work in silo. Everybody has a part in this. And whether you speak the language or not, we're all part of this community. So thank you to all our partners. I won't name them all, but thank you. Next screen. So this one is a little busy, but if you go to take your phones out and you do the QR code, if you know how to do that, you just point it out there. What it'll do is it'll take you to this page that has all kind of data. Like I said, I'm not the data person, so there is just some wonderful data, because the reason I love it is because, once again, it's representative of the people that we serve. And so there's data, it's in English and Spanish, some is more Spanish and some is more English, but it's a very diverse set of data that we collect. And I don't think anybody else collects the type of data we collect from our members that participate with Adelante. So it's a very interesting read if you have time. I won't go over it because it would take me a lot longer than the time I was given. So I will not go over each of those, but you guys are more than welcome to go to the QR code or go to our website. Or better yet, there's my business cards and Maria's business cards at our table. Help yourself, take one, and reach out to us personally. We'd be more than happy to go over some of this information with you. Next slide, please. And just a few stats, not a whole lot, that we wanted to share. So first, in case you didn't realize, 90% of Latino-owned businesses do not use technology, and that's across the board. So a lot of what Adelante does is more of the human-centered type of work, where it is really one-on-one, and it's relational. It's all relational. And that's what makes it different, because even for us, it doesn't matter if you know the language or not. Once again, when you go somewhere, customer service has to be top notch, and it's always better to speak to a person, right, directly, and have them help you navigate whatever issue you have. And so just think about that. So 10% of them will use technology, the other 90% do not. And yet, a lot of what we do as a society is based on technology. Number two, 800 billion is the Latino market value in the United States. 800 billion. I didn't have them break that down by state, but that would be an interesting number to look at. And then number three, one out of every 4 new businesses in the USA belongs to a Latino family. And that was as of 2020. I don't have the most current number, but yeah. That is fascinating. That just means that there's a lot more need out there, lots of more families and people who are putting, are generating revenue and are doing a lot of what we've been told in the past that we don't do a whole lot as a Latino community, and that's really generate income and be part of the society that everybody expects us to be when we are. And the acknowledgement that's finally coming out of everybody, especially in Commerce City, is phenomenal, because for the longest time, it's been hard to see that we have people who work hard, really hard, to get their small businesses going and keep them going, and yet they're never really acknowledged as having those businesses or being entrepreneurs. So we're trying to change that narrative as well. Next slide. So this will give you a little bit of that impact. So this is what I had been talking to you about, that I oversee as the Health Equity Director. So since the pandemic, Adelante has supported undocumented immigrants, so with cash and rental assistance, providing or assisting to provide over $3 million with the Left Behind Workers Fund. And once again, if you're not quite sure what that is, we'd be happy to explain that at a later time. And then in the process, I know it says 15,000, but it's more over 16,000 vaccines that have been provided through Adelante for our community. And over 50,000 COVID home test kits have been given. Once again, this is by our community navigators that used to be volunteers, and I'll tell you a little bit about them in a little bit. And then during the pandemic, we had a phone line, and we received over 8,000 plus calls for test appointments and referral appointments through that phone line. Next slide. To continue with our impact. So over 50 informational webinars to Spanish-speaking families have been given. Over 70 adult entrepreneurs graduated from our Spanish-speaking business program. Over 50 promotional videos of Latino businesses, and over 200 small businesses receiving access to capital technical assistance, as well as over 350 entrepreneurs supported with technical assistance, business compliance, and digital transformation. It's that accessing, information on the technology and teaching people how to actually use it before they invest in it. And so the last of our accomplishments, so the last slide please, is thank you to Adams County and the commissioners and everyone that's here. Adelante received $3.7 million in ARPA funds, and with those funds we've been able to continue the work. So this year we developed a board recruitment plan as part of our strategic 5-year plan. We hired 2 new directors, me being one of them, so they hired 2. And then we're training 15 new community navigators, which have been our volunteers who have, just so you know, this is the part I want to shout out to them, is they range in age between 13 and 63, and they come every Saturday and every Sunday, and they volunteer with us to be able to help support families who come through our COVID vaccine clinic, and if they can't read or they need help completing their paperwork or have other questions, these volunteers have been there for us every single weekend helping families go through that process. And because of that, they have now been upgraded to community navigators and not volunteers, because we are now in the process of training them to help support my next dream of having our a small resource center for basic needs at the Mile High Flea Market on Saturdays. And this group of volunteers will be the ones who will be running it. So with that, I will complete my presentation, but I just want to say again, thank you all for the partnerships and really supporting Adelante in the work that we are doing to help support those who are the most in need. So have a good one. Thank you.
Okay, I know we're running a few minutes behind, but I think our next speaker has some wonderful things to say, so hopefully y'all can stick around for just a few extra minutes. It is my pleasure to introduce Deborah Bullock. She's the business coordinator for the Commerce City Chamber of Commerce. Deborah is a Colorado native and grew up in Commerce City. She worked in the hospitality industry for over 40 years and owns her own business. She co-founded the Commerce City Historical Society and the Commerce City Chamber of Commerce, and she serves on many boards throughout the city, including the South Adams County Fire District. Deborah is the author of Images of America, Commerce City, published in 2010, and is currently working on her second book, Past and Present Commerce City. Please help me welcome to the podium, Deborah Bullock.
Good afternoon, everyone. Rene is the executive director of this organization, but he is in the mountains at a housing conference, so I'm going to give a review over the chamber for this last year. So the Commerce City is a young chamber. When you look at the chambers in our neighboring communities, we're probably the newest chamber. We started in 2016, and we started because we needed one, because our community is a growing community. And so here we are, and growing every day, and we are doing a lot of great things for the community. Our mission is the Commerce City, in Commerce City, is to engage, educate, and advocate for the business community and Commerce City. And our goals are to engage, keep the community, the business community engaged, educate them, members, allow member services, advocate for them, and to grow the chamber and to develop the chamber, and to be sustainable in the community. So we currently have 11 board members, and if you're a board member, can you please stand up? So we have with us today Sandra Escobar, and she's actually been with the chamber from the beginning. When we had our meetings, organizational meetings, she was there. And Michelle Claybon is one of our newest members. And Maria Carbajal, where are you at? She's one of our board members. I thought I saw William Frew, but maybe not. Sean Ford and Jim Davis are the council representatives. Dylan Huey from Del West, Louis Ortiz from the Stillwater Wellness Center, Ariane Mullen from Aviation and Occupational Medicine, Barrett Jensen with Waste Connections, and Michelle Claymore has been with us from the beginning as well. She was with us when we were having our organizational meetings in 2015 and 16, and she and the city have been very supportive of the chamber. So thank you. We have approximately 130 members. If you are a member of the chamber, can you stand up? We have quite a few members here today. And we thank you, because if we didn't have members, we would not have a chamber. We especially would like to thank our two top-tier members. Adams County is one of our high-tier members. Republic Services, Suncor Energy, Waste Connections, Live Well, Del West, those are our top tier. And our second tier members are our diamond members, Denver International Airport, the City of Commerce City, Civitas Resources, Platte Valley Medical Center, Rocky Mountain Natural Meats, Rush Truck Centers, Southwestern Properties, and some of you are in here today, so thank you very much. When we have strong businesses and positive relationships in the community, we have a strong community, and it creates a community of a lifetime. And that's what chambers do for communities. We have worked with the city from the beginning. Michelle was very instrumental in getting us organized. And in 2016, we said we're going to get 100 members in 100 days. And we did that, and you constantly have to keep members and get members to keep the chamber going. We have a good partnership with other local chambers around the metro area and other organizations in the area. We advocate for our businesses. Maybe to just simply answer questions, listen about their issues, help them work through any issues that they're having. Sometimes they don't even know who they should call, and so we can give them that direction. We provide them with events to network and to engage with other businesses. We support their promotional events. We provide educational opportunities through our Lunch and Learn series. We keep them informed about community, what's going on in the community. And June does a great job of that. June is our, June, you want to stand up? She is our chamber coordinator, and she keeps everybody informed about what's going on. We also give back to the community as we support chamber members' events, and we use their businesses before going elsewhere if they're in the community. When you join the chamber, you get to learn and be connected with what's going on in Commerce City and with the businesses in Commerce City. You can increase your visibility in the community. We can do ribbon cuttings, other events that you may have. We can help you set those up. It brings credibility to your business. You can acquire customer referrals and business contacts. You can receive ongoing information about what is going on. And most of all, we want you to grow your business. Of course, that's why you're in business, right? And so we want to help people do that. So we are stronger together. The most important thing businesses and organizations can do in the community is to get involved, be connected, and work together. The Chamber is a valuable resource in any community. If you're not a member and you're thinking about joining, you can see June or myself. We do have membership packets available. You can check out our website, 4cchamber.com. And we have some stuff out on the table as well. And we want to thank you for coming today, and we hope that we see all of you soon at events in the city or just chamber events or some of your events. We would like to invite you to our annual membership meeting Thursday, November 10th. It's at Fire Station 8, which is on 104th, approximately 104th and Tower. It's at 5:30. Mark Campbell is going to be the program presenter, and so we hope to see you there. Thank you very much. Have a great afternoon.
We did it. That concludes our program, so I want to give a quick thank you to the staff at Bison Ridge Recreation Center and the Bison Grill team for setting up and catering today's lunch. And I'd also like to give a shout out to my team, Commerce City's Economic Development Division, for putting together today's program and just working so hard in general. Wendy Knopfliger is our Business Development Manager. Where's Wendy? There she is. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. I can't see it. Brian Fettaplace, he is our Senior Economic Development Special and working on a lot of the retail attraction. Brian? Nancy Flock, she's our Economic Development Specialist for Small Business Programs. And I don't know if Misty's still here, but Misty Sanchez is our Administrative Specialist 3. Thank you, Misty. Thank you, guys. It was wonderful. Please take a moment, if you haven't, to check out the Developer Showcase in the back, and thank you all for coming. Have a great day. Thank you.